Line that made me laugh out loud. You went to Stanford, bitch. My college was the streets.
The street versus Stanford dichotomy. It's a classic, but he gives it a fresh twist.
But be real with me for a second. We hear this school of hard knocks thing all the time. Do street smarts actually translate to navigating a complex industry? Or is it just a chip on his shoulder?
It's more than a chip. It's about the type of knowledge. Stanford represents static knowledge theory, case studies, historical data. It's learning how things should work in a controlled environment.
Right.
The streets, in his context, represent dynamic knowledge. He calls it knowledge on the feet.
Knowledge on the feet, meaning you have to make decisions while the situation is changing around you.
Exactly. It's the OD, loop, observe, orient, decide, act. In a street environment or in a cage fight, he brings up Dana White and Conor McGregor. If you pause to theorize, you get knocked out. He's arguing the corporate executives are too slow. They're analyzing data from last quarter while he's reacting to the culture in real time.
He does seem to identify heavily with that fighter mentality. He says, I got a target on my back because I do not fucking retreat.
Resilience. That's the asset. A Stanford degree proves you can follow a curriculum. Diving the hollows proves you can take a punch and keep moving. In a volatile industry, he's betting that resilience is more valuable than theory.
He also ties this resilience to where he's from. He mentions Kansas. He says, I figured the plan out the Kansas. Now, I'm no geography expert, but Kansas isn't exactly the media capital of the world.
No, and that's the whole point. If you are in LA or New York, you have access. You can network, get lucky at a party. In Kansas, you have to build it yourself. He mentions Tech N9 as a blueprint.
I know the name, but why is he the specific reference there?
Tech N9 is a legend in the business, but not for having #1 radio hits. He is the absolute king of independent touring revenue.
Oh, okay.
He built a massive empire out of Kansas City, completely bypassing the coastal gatekeepers. He focused on the flyover states that major labels ignored.
So Styles is saying, I have proof of concept right next door.
Exactly. He's saying, I don't need to go to the coasts to win. I can win from the middle because I know how to grind. It just reinforces that self-reliance.
Okay, so up to this point, I'm with you. We have a guy who is financially disciplined, fiercely independent, street smart. It's a solid underdog story. But then the transcript takes a hard left turn.
The pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes from talking about hollows and Ziplocs to talking about God, and not in a passing way. He fundamentally changes his definition of fear. He says he's not scared of going broke, but then he drops this line, I'm scared of being a slave.
That is the core philosophical shift. And we need to be careful with that word slave. In this context, he's defining it as the total loss of autonomy.
But isn't that a bit extreme? I mean, having a boss can be annoying, but is it slavery?
In the creative world, if you are making art that violates your own conscience because you need the money to pay a debt, you could see that as a form of spiritual servitude.
Okay, I see.
Styles looks at the executives, the guys in the suits, and he doesn't see powerful men. He sees slaves. Slaves to the shareholders, slaves to the quarterly earnings report, slaves to the trend. He is saying, I refuse to be that.
And his solution to avoiding that slavery is the Dropout Club.
Right. The Dropout Club. It sounds like a fan group, but he describes it as a movement blessed by God. He says it's bigger than me, bigger than the fans.
This is where I start to get a little skeptical. It sounds a bit like a cult leader pitch, doesn't it? I'm on a mission from God, so follow me.
It walks that line, certainly. But look at the function it serves for his business. He says he is nourishing the straight kids and that the whole world is enfeeble, meaning weak or frail. He is positioning his product, his music, as spiritual nutrition for a starving audience.
Nourishing. That is a very specific word. He's not entertaining them. He's feeding them.
And that creates a bond that's far stronger than just liking a catchy beat. If you feel like an artist is saving you or nourishing your soul, you become a writer. You become the fan who buys the merch, goes to the show, defends him online.
But here's the paradox I can't quite wrap my head around. He spends the whole video talking about being uncontrollable, not having a master, but then he ends with the ultimate submission. He says, so I'm signed to Jesus, I'm signed to the fans. That's it, bro. Fuck any other signature.
It's the middleman theory.
The what?
The middleman theory. He isn't rejecting authority entirely. He is rejecting intermediary authority.
Okay, break that down.
In a traditional structure, you have God or inspiration at the top, then the label, then the artist, then the fans. The label sits in the middle and takes a cut of the money and a cut of the control.
So they're the toll booth.
Exactly. Styles is just removing the toll booth.
No.
He is saying, I answer to the source, God, for my mission, and I answer to the end user, the fans, for my livelihood. By submitting to the highest power and the lowest power, he eliminates the middle power.
Okay, that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Signed to Jesus
Hmm?
gives him the moral authority to ignore the executives, and signed to the fans gives him the financial capital to ignore the bank.
You nailed it. And notice how the financial part circles all the way back. He can only truly serve the fans and God if he isn't desperate for that paycheck from the label.
Right.
If he was broke and scared, he'd have to compromise. Because he is broken, unafraid, he can be pure.
So the fearlessness protects the message.
And the message builds the fan base.
Yeah.
And the fan base generates the money. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem that completely excludes the corporate structure.
It's a closed loop of autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I started reading this, I thought it was just an angry rant, but it's actually a blueprint for a very specific kind of freedom.
It is, and it challenges the way we think about making it. We usually think making it means getting that big stamp of approval, the degree, the contract, the job title. Styles is saying that making it is actually about building a life where you don't need that stamp of approval.
Which brings us back to that idea of safety versus security.
That's the key takeaway for me. The record label offers safety. They offer a predictable path, a team, a paycheck for a while. But it's fragile. It can be taken away in a single meeting.
Because it's given, not earned.
Right. Damien Styles is building security. Security is internal. It's the roof you own. It's the knowledge on the feet you learned. It's that direct connection to the people who support you. Safety is a cage with a full food bowl. Security is knowing how to hunt.
Safety is a cage with a full food bowl. Security is knowing how to hunt. That is hauntingly accurate.
And he's chosen to hunt.
Well, this has been a trip. We've gone from debt leveraging to TikTok algorithms to theology. But I think the question this leaves us with is bigger than just music.
It applies to everyone.
Exactly. So here's the thought I want to leave you with today. Damien Styles argues that his power comes from not being scared of losing what the industry gave him. He's only scared of being a slave. So look at your own career. Look at your own life. What is the safety net you are clinging to right now? Is it a job title, a reputation, a monthly paycheck that just barely covers a lifestyle you don't even enjoy? And ask yourself, is that safety net actually a shackle? What would happen if you weren't scared of letting it go?
And sometimes the thing holding you up is the only thing holding you back.
Something to think about in the dark. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.